Good morning, Paul. So we're here at a HP launch, and we're hearing HP is recommitted to gaming. So can you just give us a very quick overview on what's new about this HP gaming tower compared to what you've done before?
Definitely. So this is HP's brand new Envy Phoenix desktop. So this will be available in a month or so. And what this device is our jump back into our gaming space. So you're going to get K-series unlockable Intel Core
When you mean,
processors.
sorry to cut you off, when you mean K-series, can you define which generation?
So these will be 5th gen.
Fifth gen.
Yep.
Okay.
And you'll have the K-series at the suffix at the end. So this means our user can go into the BIOS level and adjust clock speed on this device.
So this is not shipping with the 4th gen?
I believe there'll be a few variants. It's just still a little while away.
What about 6th gen?
So 6th gen, this will be out before 6th gen is available. And then when 6th gen comes out, then we'll...
So later this year?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So as far as the rest of the spec goes, the user will have total choice about their hardware and config. But of course, you'll have a mixture of mechanical drives as well as SSDs, up to say a 512 SSD and up to say a 3 terabyte mechanical drive.
I think the main question for my audience is a lot of the recent HPs are more of a standard form factor, which can be somewhat upgradable at the user's own risk. Why would they choose that over a generic tower, considering the similarities these days between the HP tower and a generic tower?
Sure, look, they're obviously getting the benefit of HP's engineering and the HP prowess within desktops. I mean, no one sells and makes more desktop PCs in the world than HP, so you're backing off the heritage of that brand. You're also getting a really easy off-the-shelf solution with drivers that the user can just essentially one cable plug and play. You're getting GTX 980 graphics. There'll be options for a closed-loop liquid-cooled system on the CPU only, so you're getting a very no-fuss with all the frills spec unit, which the customer can go into our retail partners and buy off the shelf, as opposed to building their own configs, which can take up a lot of time. And obviously the driver support is something that they need to look into. You
mentioned K-series, so how's HP going to handle overclocking in terms of support, warranty, and where did you draw the line?
Of course. So HP obviously adheres to all the current ACLs, and we look at each unit on a case-by-case basis. So we don't have a set hard and fast rule based on how our users can adjust and overclock these machines, but we certainly look at each unit on a case-by-case basis should there be any warranty concerns our customers have in the future.
Do you know, from best of your knowledge, what can the users adjust? Because I think this is the first time HP have done this. Can they do voltages and all that, or is it just basic support?
It'll be basic overclocking abilities. We don't know the exact limitations or abilities yet, because the board and the unit doesn't yet exist. So what we have here is a dummy chassis with some test hardware, so we can bring it to you really, really early. This is still that 6 to 8 weeks away. So once we get information on the final boards and the final processor SKU, then we give you more information about its overclocking abilities and what the user can and can't adjust.
You mentioned graphics. There was the GeForce 980.
980 from NVIDIA.
Are you offering a different SKU for AMD Radeon Fury or
so we're certainly
390?
Looking at that at the moment. At this stage in the current plan, it's just the NVIDIA GTX 980 in the roadmap, but we're certainly considering all other options.
So things like price and availability and warranty are to be determined on the retail.
Yeah, look, our pie in the sky, our dream is to start this product with an entry-level spec at around that $2,000 mark, and then ramp up there with the changes that the customer might want with both SSD or mechanical drives, as well as different options with processor and graphics as well. But we believe a starting price point at this stage, we're looking to hit that $2,000 mark.
What's the competitor to this? Who are you competing with this particular one?
It's a pretty busy space. In amongst, and you mentioned this earlier, in amongst like you build your own device movement as well as your gaming rigs. So whether it be the dedicated gaming brands like an Alienware, they're going to be the natural comparisons people draw. We like to see ourselves as being in this own space, being the fact that we are the leaders in desktop, and we have some of the world's most powerful commercial desktops. So we're bringing that heritage into a consumer product, which will hopefully give them some choice.
We're seeing a very flush front. Is that a lid or?
Yes, it's a pressed aluminium front.
So there's is that 5 1/4 base?
So not front accessible, no, but there's a little thumb screw on the side, so you can take the drive off, and then you can access some additional PCIe as well as.
So there's no optical drive. There's no 5 1/4
base. There is
an
optical. It's a vertical mount. Tray optical. And so most likely be a Blu-ray combo.
So is that final? So you're only doing it like that. You're not going to put bays in like the old ones.
Correct. So this vertical stripe is a signature design that we've got throughout this new Pavilion, Envy, and Phoenix range. So you'll notice that striping continue across whether it be our high-end Phoenix or at our most entry-level pavilion, and that's going to give some sort of brand.
Earlier during your presentation, you mentioned you were going with liquid cooling on this system. That's interesting you say that to us, because when we looked at HP's commercial units early in the year, they told us they went away from liquid cooling, they went to air. Is just more of this like enthusiast play, or?
So look, this kind of sits somewhere in the middle. I mean, for our commercial devices, they have different requirements when it comes to manageability. A lot of our devices have hot swappable components, and by adding liquid cooling to that type of chassis, you kind of remove the ability to easily hot swap components, which our commercial customers are often after, especially our warranty service, where in commercial, people are coming in on site and doing the changeovers and doing the maintenance in there. Being more of a consumer device, there's often a trend and a focus towards liquid cooling, and that's what our customers have asked
for.
We're
more on the acoustic side, that's what we're interested in. So for you guys talk to each other in the divisions and bring the acoustic technology to this one.
Yeah, so look, liquid cooling obviously massively reduces sound, both from the whirring of the fans, but also just from some intakes, some exhausts, and overall just noisiness of the machine. So liquid cooling certainly aids with that, but we often see there's a feature within this space that our gaming customers have been asking for, and hence why in this particular model it's carried the liquid cooling. And keep in mind that is an option, so there are units you can buy in this chassis without it if a consumer prefers air cooling and traditional.
So those are a bit lower things, like an i5 spec machine would come with the less...
Yeah, so we're still looking at final config.
Yeah,
it's still a little while
just
away.
an overview. So yeah,
as an overview, we can take out liquid
So
cooling.
the options will be pretty much as you've done before with the similar version. Yeah.
Always. We want to make sure customers can still get this form factor, this chassis, this power, but in a price point that's more affordable. But then for our real enthusiasts, our gamers who really want no compromise spec, they can still go up to a top end device, liquid cooling, no compromise graphics.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
That's okay.